Good morning, and I am delighted to be here at whatever time it is in your neck of the woods. And we're going to have a short class today. We'll start just in our lovely dragon pose in yin. And I'm going to use a blanket, a folded blanket behind me just to lift up my hips slightly. And the dragon, as I mentioned before, in yin is a larger diamond than Baddha Konasana, which is here. So we're here, and we're just going to sit and do some breathing to begin with. So I'm going to inhale, and I'm going to breathe in from the bottom up, so belly, ribs, and chest. You can put your thumbs underneath your armpits if you like. So belly, ribs, and chest. So inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. We're going to extend our exhalations a bit. So inhale, hold, exhale. Inhale, hold, exhale. Inhale, hold, exhale. Inhale, hold, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And now just maintain your regular breathing, inhaling and exhaling. And we're going to just stretch our legs out for a moment and just stretch them out. And then we're going to just cross our legs and just do a little bit of a twist here to your right. And then we'll twist towards your left, feeling both the twisting from the waist and the elongation of the spine as you lift up. And now we're going to walk our hands out in front of us. Stretching our fingers, stretching our hands, lifting the shoulders up to the ears and then drawing them down. And now we're going to walk over to the left side. And then we're going to walk over to the right side. Stretching and breathing into we can breathe into our ribs that are opened on the side here. And now we're going to sit up and just move our arms over our body, arcing them over. One side and then the other. So we're inhaling here and exhaling and then inhaling into the opposite ribs. Exhaling and inhaling. Very nice. Good. That's sort of a lovely little warm up. I'm just going to move my arms in all kinds of lovely arbitrary ways. And I'm going to slap my shoulder here. Slap my kidneys at the back with this. It's moving, rotating around, waking up my core. Good. All right. So let's get a strap here. I have left my strap somewhere else. So I'm just using a little band here, so that should work, just to demonstrate. I'm going to put this around my toe mounds, and I'm sitting up in Dandasana. And if you have a strap, you can hold on to it loosely. You don't have to have it have a lot of stress in your arms. And I'm pressing out through my feet, at the heels of my feet, and I'm just going to draw down. And since for me this is early in the morning, I'm being quite gentle and drawing down. With a straight back, I'm not going too far. I can't go too far anyway. And then I'm going to come up again, and then I'm moving down. And at this point, I'm just going to fold over my legs, and I'm going to just hold on to my ankles. You could hold on to your shins if you're here, or your feet. So you decide what feels good for you. You can also hold on to the tops of your feet if you're so inclined. And here we're just inhaling and exhaling and not stressing out. And then we're going to roll up. We can stretch our fingertips back and press into the floor and just open up our chest here. Breathing into our chest. You can have your head just extended out from your spine so there's no break in it. You don't want to overstrain your neck. And at a certain point, you can actually just do what's called a reverse, God, I can't even remember what it's called. So anyway, we're just going to do this. So press your hands into the mat and stretch up. Breathing here, inhaling and exhaling. I think this is a reverse plank. Pressing, pressing. Drawing your navel in towards your spine. lifting your pelvis. And now slowly coming down. Good. And we'll just take our arms out and embrace our shoulders. Once again, we can turn a little bit back and forth. And then open them out and embrace our shoulders, going back and forth. Otherwise, stretch our hands up and really stretch up. Stretch our arms out. Good. And shake them out. Very good. So let's come over onto our hands and knees and do some work here. Just finding our way into our spinal mobility movements. So we're just going to work with the traditional up and down cat and cow, cat and cow, where our chest is moving through our arms here, and then we're arching up. We're trying to move as much of the spine as we can. So that might require focusing on areas of your spine that are less likely to be moving. And so while we're doing this, we're just going to start moving our body around so that we are moving up and down and just moving our shoulders, moving our hips, and giving ourselves a kind of massage. This is like the washing machine massage, where everything is moving in many different directions, although there's one particular circular motion, but all of our ribs, our back muscles are really getting a lovely workout here. Good. All right, so let's do a bird dog here because we can, and this is a good opening balance and strengthening exercise. So this is bird dog, pointing the leg out. I'm pointing my heel. You could point your toe and the arm out on top. We're just breathing here. Inhaling and exhaling. Feeling that movement internal, having rippling effects out into our fingertips and our heels. I'm going to lower that down and lift up the other side. And here, you can really press out through our heels and our fingertips. Feel that lovely oppositional movement. And now we're low down. And we'll come back into a child's pose here, just for a moment. You can have it a very wide leg child's pose if you like, opening up your knees to the edges of the mat and stretching your arms out, stretching them out over your left leg, stretching, walking your fingertips away from you, feeling the opening of that side rib and your breath moving into that space like it's a balloon. And coming back the other way. Very nice. And here we're now going to go back to the center, and we're going to walk our hands forward and our hips forward or our knees back. And here we're going to be in puppy pose, which is a more exaggerated stretch of the arms and spine. And we feel our torso is like a sling here. It's allowing our armpits to open to the floor in quite an exaggerated way. So you monitor how your body feels doing this. It's quite it's quite a strong pose, even though it looks quite simple. So you're really, really allowing your arms, your armpits, to move towards the floor, and your back is arching. You're pressing into your hands, and you're just breathing here into your open chest, and into your side ribs, and into your back body. It's quite a beautiful posture. And you're sticking your tailbone up in the air. And now you can come forward a bit and then walk yourself back. And I'm going to just move into some more floor movements since we're down here. And it can be really helpful just to work with some of our leg movements. So we're on all fours. We're going to just draw that left leg forward, and we're going to move into pigeon. This is very good for sciatica. And basically for an older body like mine, it's a fantastic pose to get my hips in shape. So I have my, you can't see it, I'll just show you on the other side. I have my foot in quite a radical angle here. And you can, the full pose, you'd have your foot straight out here, which I cannot do. So here I am just pressing my palms into the floor. I'm using this opportunity to really stretch this hip flexor, and I am I'm allowing my spine to arch up. I'm drawing my navel into my spine, getting my core activated here. And I've been thinking about, I've been studying Pilates off and on for many years, and one of my Pilates teachers, who's also a yoga teacher, reminded me the other day that the Pilates breath, where we have in yoga a big belly breath, in Pilates the breath is a one of containment. So when you are inhaling and exhaling, you're actually drawing the muscles in your core in your belly, and you sort of provide a container for your breath with your muscles, with your core. So here I'm going to draw my belly button in, and I'm going to draw those muscles of my belly in as I breathe into my belly and my chest. So I'm not going to let the belly breath really free itself. It's a different way of thinking about your breath and thinking about what happens when you're standing, how your muscles hold you up when you're standing, etc. So now we're going to walk our hands forward and stretch them out here. You can have your hands here. You can have blocks. You can basically, there are many different variations here, and you can just go forward and put your head on the ground if you like. You shouldn't really feel any pain in your knees, so if you start feeling pain in your knees, you should come up. You decide where that place is. We're holding these for at least 90 seconds, and that's because, according to people who know much more than I do, it takes at least 90 seconds for your connective tissue to begin to let go. So we're staying here for at least 90 seconds. And we've been here actually for several minutes in terms of our actual location of our pigeon legs. So we can come up now. I'm going to actually just roll back onto my hip, and then I'm going to move into a twist between the sides of the pigeon. So here we go, just putting one leg over the other, lifting up my opposite arm. Here's my raised knee, pressing into this foot, lifting up this arm, really stretching, and then moving towards the side here. If you need some assistance, you could put a blanket under your hip to give you a little bit of elevation, and then I'm just using that as a lever to move around here. So I started teaching a new class yesterday in my local community center, and I was so happy. The eldest student in the class is 87, and she's quite fantastic. I was really just so thrilled. I thought, well, that is a future for me to look forward to. I'm moving in the other direction, just in a counter movement. And now I'm going to do the same. I'm extending my legs out, jiggling them a little bit, and then moving back into a twist. And here I am drawing myself up first of all, and then moving around here. Feeling the beauty of this. I'm pressing into my backhand to lift my my torso up, and that helps me turn a little bit further. So the dual pressure of the front sole of the foot pressing into the mat and the back hand pressing into the mat, they lift me up, and then my arm is working to turn me. And I'm breathing. And this is actually a very demanding pose. I'm really feeling that turn here. And now I'm coming around, stretching out my legs, shaking them, and taking a breath. I'm just going to take a breath here in Tadasana. And now I'm going to, before we get back to the other side of the pigeon, we're going to do a little bit of the of this open leg movement, where we're just going to walk our hands forward and so you just stay there. There's something dinging here, which I don't know what it is exactly. So while we're here, walking out, stretching out, I'm moving to one side, and then I'm moving to the other. And I'm going to move to one side, and then I'm going to move to the other. And now I'm just going to extend this arm out along here and draw this arm over. So your variations could be, you could be here, or you could be down here. And we're trying to rotate our ribs towards the ceiling. A difficult task. And now I'm going to move over the other side. I'm just sliding my arm down to the ground and moving over here. back again. Good. And I'm going to bring my knees in. I'm going to bring them into Baddha Konasana and hold on to my toes and really feel myself lifting up here. And I'm drawing these legs down. So you could be up here. If it's too painful, you could put blocks underneath your legs. But the object here is to try to open your groin. And in these silent spaces, we can imagine that our monkey mind is really busy, busy, busy. And our thoughts can come one after the other. You can do a number of different things in terms of meditation. You could have a mantra. You could have the kind of universal so hum. Inhale so. Exhale hum. And you can say that silently to yourself. In Zen meditation, one of the things you can do is imagine that your thoughts are like clouds in a sky and they're coming from one side of your mind, and you acknowledge them, and then you just let them go like a leaf. And then another thought will arise, and you just acknowledge it and let it go. So we all have different ways of meditating, of finding stillness in our mind, and you might have a favorite one. And all the time we're breathing here and just feeling our groins opening. Good. Now we're going to move to the other side and move back into that pigeon pose with our groin, with our sciatica, whatever issues we may have with our sciatica. This is an excellent cure for it. And I'm just stretching my back leg back and feeling the opening here. And first of all, I'm going to sit up here and make myself aware of the arch of my back. And now you can stay up here. This is a perfectly wonderful pose for you. And if you want to, you can come down onto your forearms and you could just stay like this. Or you could come down and put your forehead on your hands that are stacked one on top of the other. Or you could stretch your arms out here. And now I'm walking my hands back, and I'm going to go into a slight twist here. We've done twists on both sides before, but we'll just do one little counter twist here for that nice extended hip and that beautiful stretched out glute that we have on that side. Good. All right. So now, I think right now all we're going to do are a few back bends. I'm going to make it a shorter class, and I'm going to go down onto our belly and do a few back bends here. So here we are. Palms of the hands underneath our forehead, and we're pointing our toes here. And we're just going to lift one leg up, and then we're going to lift the other leg up. So this requires us to press our pelvis into the ground. And now I'm going to just widen our arms out and lift one leg up, bend the knee, and draw it over to the side. Lifting that knee up, and then bringing it back down, and doing it the other way. Lifting that knee up, bending the knee and dropping the toe to the floor, and drawing it back down. One more time. On the other side, lifting that leg up and drawing it to the other side. Good. Now let's just do our locust here to develop our back muscles. And I have my palms up, my forehead into the floor. You might take your glasses off. And I'm just going to, first of all, lift my shoulders up, and then my head up, and then my arms. And I'm holding here, breathing, inhaling and exhaling. And now I'm going to come down. This time I'm going to lift everything up, my shoulders, my head, my arms, and my legs. And I'm just going to really feel the possibilities here for a lift off. Breathing, and then coming down. Now I'm going to take one of my feet here, and I'm just going to put my hand here to help me. And I'm going to lift up my leg here, just slightly, stretching my leg out. And I'm going to try the other leg, lifting that leg up. And now I'm going to try both legs and work into a bow here, pressing my legs out and lifting my chest up. And then down. And then I'm going to come back into a child's pose to give my spine an opportunity to curve in the opposite direction. I can put my fists here and just sit back onto my heels, or I can come down onto my forehead. Now we're going to move on to our back and see if we can take a block and put it underneath our sacrum, which is the flat part at the bottom of our spine, and just lift our knees up. Now you can lift one up and then the other. This might be all that you're doing here, or you can lift both up and extend both legs out. I'm just breathing into my whole body. I'm imagining my whole body is like a giant lung. I'm breathing into my toes, into my fingers. And by extending our exhalations, we are working really to deepen and extend our inhalations. So it's a very wonderful thing to be able to develop our breath control and expand our awareness of what's possible in our body in terms of the number of breaths we take. Can we slow our breath down? And can we deepen it? Now I'm just going to open my legs out. And once again, one of the kind of movement thematics of the class has been working with our groin and sitting in our forward bends. I'm just moving my ankles around. This is a bit of joint mobility here. And I can scrunch up my toes and then point them. Scrunch up my toes and point them. And I can do the same with my fingers. I can clasp my thumb very hard, making a fist, and scrunch up my toes, and then let them all stretch out, stretching out my fingers very strongly, and do the same thing with my toes. But I can rotate my ankles and my wrists here. So I find when I'm doing my practice, sometimes diverting myself with joint mobility allows me to stay in a pose longer than I would have otherwise. So now I'm just going to draw my legs together, and I'm going to put my arms out, bend my knees, and drop my feet down. Now I'm going to remove that block, and I'm going to do a little bit of work on my core. This is really such an important part of uh, our body that helps us maintain everything from balance to uprightness. And I'm just going to curl up here slightly and lift either one leg or both. And then I'm going to lift my legs up. This isn't really a yoga pose, but it is very useful to work on your core, to develop your yoga postures. So we're not doing a lot of standing postures today, but you could really work to strengthen your core in many different ways. I'm pressing the sacrum and the lower back into the floor. If you have any pain in your lower back, you should stop. All right, now I'm going to draw my legs in and clasp them. And open my arms out. I'm going to do the figure four, which is a very lovely opportunity to stretch out your sciatica. Sorry, and I'm just holding on to my shin or my thigh. I'm drawing this leg in with this leg, and this one I'm moving out. You could move it out with your hand or with your elbow. So one knee is moving in one direction and one in the other, and you'll feel it here in your outer hip. And I move a little bit in this pose. You don't have to, you can just stay still. But I like moving to, feels like a little bit of a massage. Now I'm dropping this foot down to the floor, and I'm looking in this direction, the opposite direction. So I have a very nice oppositional stretch here.
And I'm lifting up. And I'll put both feet on the ground for a moment. Lift the other leg up, draw it in, and move my body in a liberating way here. And drop it down here. You could, if you wanted more stretch, you could drop that leg down and put your hand here and draw your knee towards the floor, but that's not required. You could just leave it here. So you don't want to have too much strain, but if you want even a bigger twist of your body, you could do this. All right, now that we're going to come back here, draw our legs in here, and I am just rolling, massaging my back with the movement of my legs and the weight of my legs. And then I'm going to move the other way. Lovely massage. And now I'm going to plant my feet, and we're going to do a little bit of a bridge. So planting our feet here, stretching our pelvis up, and then down. So we're tipping our pelvis up and then moving our pelvis off the floor slightly, and then we're drawing it down and uncurving it, and we're tilting our pelvis up, drawing it up off the floor, and now we're going to either hold on to the outside of the mat or clasp the hands underneath your body and stretch up, stretching your torso up, stretching your chest up, your pelvis, moving your knees to the opposite wall, stretching your thighs up, really giving it a good stretch. And now we're going to come down. We'll do that one more time, pressing our feet into the ground, tilting our pelvis, lifting our chest, lifting our thighs, pressing our feet in, pressing our arms into the ground, our shoulders, breathing here, inhaling and exhaling, inhaling and exhaling. And now we're coming down here. Good. And we'll just take our shins, roll again. Now we're going to stretch out, and we'll just have a Shavasana, a lovely rest at the end of that short practice. And here I'm just imagining that my body is able to actually let go to the point that it's dissolving into the floor. That all of that effort that we have expended during our time together has allowed us to become a little watery, as though we could melt across the floor. So you are feeling as though the skin on top of your head can relax and let go. Your forehead can relax and let go. The skin on your cheeks can relax and let go. You can open your jaw slightly. Your tongue can settle into your lower jaw. You can turn your head from side to side. You can feel your shoulders settling into the floor. You can wiggle your torso a little and then let it go. You can make a fist with your hands and let them go. You can roll your legs from side to side in your hip socket.
can feel your feet let go, your calves, your thighs, your waist, your glutes. Everything is letting go. And the Dalai Lama has a beautiful, beautiful sentence here. The miracle is to walk on the green earth, dwelling deeply in the present moment and feeling truly alive. So here in this moment, we're not walking, but we're settling into a green earth. We're feeling fully alive, and we're dwelling deeply in this present moment. The first sutra, the first yoga sutra is yoga now, yoga in this present moment. And we're going to experience that in our final meditation in Shavasana. I'm just going to leave you in silence in this place. You stay in the pose as long as you like. And when you wish to come out, you should stay in it for at least another couple of minutes. And when you wish to come out, just feel the sensation come back into your body, roll to one side and sit up. And marvel at the difference you feel between this moment and the one 45 minutes ago. Thank you for joining me. My name is Janice. Deep bows. The teacher in me honors the teacher in you, and the student in me honors the student in you.